Welcome back, everybody. We're continuing on with assignment 6. We are on number 8. So it's this one. It looks like this. Is my computer cut out? Because it hates me. I don't know why it hates me so much. Okay, so we're on number 8. 41. X is 82. And I'm looking for Z. Just as a refresher, in case you didn't watch the other video, every angle is equal to 180 degrees combined. So as I write this out, I'll write it as 180 is equal to Z plus 41 plus 82. So I'll subtract 41, I'll subtract 82 from both sides, minus 41 minus 82. Z is equal to 57. And that's my answer. Where's my eraser? I've lost my eraser again. No, I didn't. I found it. We're good. We're safe. The world is going to be okay. Alright, number 9. Y is 90. X is 45. I want you to find Z. I set up 180 is equal to Z plus 90 plus 45. Side note, notice the 90-degree angle here. That means this is going to be a right triangle. When we do our math, Z is equal to 45. 45 and 45 are congruent angles. This is going to be an isosceles triangle and a right triangle. It can be both. This particular situation it is. If these numbers were a little bit off, it would just be an isosceles triangle. So if these still both matched, and this was not 90, it would still be an isosceles triangle, but it wouldn't be a right triangle. So this particular situation is a right triangle with a 90-degree angle, and it is also an isosceles triangle because it has two congruent angles. Side note, back of your head, always remember it. Alright, on to number 10. Y is 76. X is 61. I want you to find Z. So I set up 180 is equal to Z plus 76 plus 61. Z is equal to 43. Side note, these are all different angles, making this a saline triangle. Not anything else. Just a saline triangle. I'm sorry, it's also an acute triangle because it's small, because every angle is less than 90 degrees. You know I'm crazy. Alright, so every angle is less than 90 degrees, making an acute triangle, and they're all different, making a saline triangle. Alright, now all these side notes that I'm telling you, these are not what I wanted you to give me on the assignment. I just wanted you to give me the value of the missing angle. So number 11, Y is 90, X is 30, find Z, 180 is equal to Z plus 90 plus 30. Z is equal to 60. And remember, you can always pause these and go back. You can work out the assignment a couple times on their own and just double check it with what I'm doing. We also went over this in class. So number 12, Y is 50, X is 50. What is Z? Well, 80. Z plus 50 plus 50. Notice the two congruent angles. Z equals 80 degrees. Next up, we've got number 14. Y is 37. X is what we're looking for, and Z is 72. So I've got 180 is equal to X plus 32 plus 72. X is equal to 71. So notice how it doesn't matter which numbers I give you. It's always going to be equal to 80, and you always just subtract the two smaller angles from 180. Number 13, Y is 60, Z is 40, and x is what I'm looking for, and I erased an equal sign. Oh my goodness. Alright, I fixed it. Okay. 180 is equal to x plus 60 plus 40. X is equal to 80. Last one for this, y is equal to 70, x is equal to 90. I want you to find z. 180 is equal to z plus 90 plus 70. Z is equal to 20. I had to double check there for a minute. I thought maybe I messed up on my math. It just didn't look right. But that's it. Okay. What time do we have? 5 minutes. Okay. So that's the first page. So I'm flipping over to the next page. Now the next page, what I gave you was the same type of triangle. I'm going to go ahead and erase this. But on this triangle, I told you that segments x, y were equal or congruent to y, z. And then I gave you just one angle, and you needed to find the other one. So I'm going to give you y every time. This one right here, I'm going to give you that angle, and then you need to tell me these two angles. So the first one, I tell you that y is equal to 90, and I want you to find x and find z. Now the way that we're going to do this is, now it's still equal to 180. I'm going to subtract 90 from 180. Minus 90 is equal to 90. And now I know that whatever's left is going to be the same because these two sides are telling me that they're equal, so these two angles are equal. They're congruent angles and congruent sides. They're not equal to each other, so this line isn't equal to whatever x is equal to. But if these two angles are the same, then their corresponding sides are also the same, and vice versa. So if I tell you that the sides are the same, then whatever the leftover is from the angle that I give you, they're the same. Now also notice that I'm giving you this top angle. It has nothing to do with these two sides because it's always what's directly across. So I tell you that this is 90 because it's 180 minus 90. Now I take 90, divide that by 2. That means that both angles are 45. So x is 45 and z is 45. And if I added these all together, I'd get 180. So we'll have some more practice ones. Number 17, y is 80. I want you to find x and find z. I take 180 minus 80 is equal to 100. 100 divided by 2 is equal to 50. Both angles are 50. So I take what's left after what's given to me and divide that by 2 because I have 2 angles left. You guys can do this. I believe in you. Alright, number 18, y is 100. I want you to find x and find z. So I take my 180 minus 100 is equal to 80. 80 divided by 2 for the two angles is 40. Both angles are 40 degrees. Not too hard. Not too hard at all. We are all fully capable of doing this. So number 19, y is 120. I want you to find x and find z. So I take my 180 minus my 120. That gives me 60. I take my 60, divide it by 2. That gives me 30. Both angles are 30 degrees. Okay. Last one, y is 70. So notice it still doesn't have to be a large angle, it can be a small angle. And I want you to find x and find z. I take my 180, subtract 70. That gives me 110. I take 110 divided by 2. and that tells me that both angles are 55 degrees. And that's all I wanted. Okay, so next up, can't erase it. Oh. Okay, so the next one, so 21 through 25, I'm only telling you that these two sides are congruent. So these two sides, right here, are equal to right here, and I'm not telling you anything else as far as points or angles, nothing like that. It doesn't matter. So first up, I'm going to have that the left-hand side is equal to 10, and the right-hand side is equal to 3x minus 8. Now, if I tell you that these two sides are equal, that means I can set them equal to each other. So remember back when we did segments? So when you saw this before, A, B, and C, and I told you that AB is equal to AC, same type of thing. Even though I'm not telling you the letters, I'm giving you a picture of a triangle, and I'm telling you that these two sides, no matter what anything else is, these two sides are equal to each other. So go ahead and erase this. So I just set up this equation as 10 is equal to 3x minus 8. And now it's just a variable equation. So I add 8 to both sides. Now I have 18 is equal to 3x. I divide by 3. X is equal to 6. And if you look at your paper, the only thing I wanted you to tell me is what is x. I'm really tired. Oh. Someone else is leaving class tomorrow. I'm going to take a nap. Wouldn't that be something? Alright, so number 22, 16 on the left, and 4x minus 4 on the right. So 16 is equal to 4x minus 4. I add 4 to both sides. I've got 20 is equal to 4x. Divide by 4. X is equal to 5. Done. So number 23, we're stepping it up a notch. 23 is 7x minus 6 on the left, and 2x plus 4 on the right. They're still equal to each other, so I still set them equal to each other. So I have 7x minus 6 is equal to 2x plus 4. Now I want to take over my smaller one because I don't want to have to deal with negative numbers if I don't have to. So I'll subtract my 2x. So I have 5x minus 6 is equal to 4. I'll add my 6 to both sides. 5x is equal to 10. Divide by 5. X is equal to 2. Alright, so just like we did with the line segments, now we're just doing triangles. And it's pretty. Yeah, it's a pretty triangle. That's better than just a line. You know, small things make me happy. Alright, number 24. Now I'm telling you, so I don't give you the lines this time, but I tell you that these two sides, or these two angles, are both 25 degrees. Now remember, like I said before, the sides across from the angles, if these two angles right here are congruent, that means that these two sides are congruent. That does not mean that this side is equal to 25. It just means that it's proportional to that angle, and these both are the same angle. So they're congruent angles and congruent sides. So I can put in my own little dash mark, just so I know. And then my numbers are 7 on the left and 12x minus 5 on the right. So then I set them equal to each other, because they're still equal to each other. So I have 7 equals 12x minus 5. I add 5 to both sides. I have 12 equals 12x. Divide by 12. X equals 1. Okay, so it looked a little bit more difficult, but it really wasn't, because we know that if the angles are the same, then the sides across from those are the same. These are congruent and these are congruent. Don't forget congruent. Alright. Now we stepped it up. I'm going to draw a new triangle. We stepped it up a little bit more on this last one. On this last one, I told you that it's a bad looking triangle. I'm sorry. So the last one, I tell you that all the sides are congruent. But I give you two different variables. I give you an x and a y. So this left side is 3. The right side is 7x minus 11. And the bottom is 12y plus a negative 22. So I know that each side is going to be 3, but I don't want to know what each side is. I already know that each side is 3 because I know that each side is congruent. They're all congruent to each other. I want to know what x is and I want to know what y is. So I said if the first one is 3 is equal to 7x minus 11. I add 11 to both sides. So I have 14 is equal to 7x. Divide by 7. X is equal to 2. Alright? Now I want to find y. I do the same thing. Whatever this is still equal to 3. So I have 3 is equal to 12y plus a negative 22. This is the same as writing 3 is equal to 12y minus 22. Because a positive times a negative is still a negative. So I add 22 to both sides. And I have 25 is equal to 12y. Divide by 12. Y is equal to 25 over 12, or 2 and 1/12. And you can write it either way, as long as I know that you understand the congruency. That's what I'm looking for in these equations. Okay, so that's through 25. Alright, everybody. Good job. I'll see you in the next video.